close to their career.
Perfect combination, boy.
Hemp hard, legends in the South.
This is sports fans' only home for the hottest sports show around. These guys are on fire.
You're now listening to KJ and Sean Mack. Let's talk some damn sports.
Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Extra Innings with your boy KJ, brought to you by The Mothership. Yes, The Mothership, sports fans only podcast, which can be found at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. So we got some breaking news for you guys. Francisco Lindor, formerly of the Cleveland Indians, is coming to the New York Mets. Yes, you heard me correctly. Francisco Lindor is coming to the New York Mets. So Mr. Cohen is doing exactly what he said he was going to do, which is shake things up right away. I didn't think it was going to be that quick, but so basically, if you don't know who Francisco Lindor is, I'm going to get into that in a quick second. This isn't going to be a long video. It's going to be a quick 5-6 minute video. But before we get into his stats and what he means to the Mets, I want to let you guys know why we needed him so bad. And Mets fans, you guys know that our defense was the main reason why we've been horrible over the last few years. It definitely can't blame it on the offense. I mean, we consistently have somebody hitting 30-plus home runs. We always have a high average guy. Like, the offense really hasn't been the problem. Some might say that pitching is the problem. And I would agree to a certain extent, but you might have to pump your brakes on that. And I'm going to tell you why. Our bullpen last year, which was the main problem, it definitely was not the starting pitching. The bullpen had a 4.99 bullpen ERA. That's in 2019. I'm not going to include what just happened this past year because of the whole COVID thing and everything. I want to take a full year and let's dissect those numbers. So, and you know, the bullpen this past year was bad too, even in this shortened season. So, we're just going to deal with 2019 because this last year was a throwaway year. So the bullpen had a 4.99 bullpen ERA, right? Well, you know, everybody's saying the bullpen, but Washington Nationals, they had a 5.75 ERA, and we all know what they did. They went and won the World Series. So you can't put that on the bullpen's ERA and how many runs they gave up, because there was a few teams that had higher ERAs, specifically Washington, and I bring them up just simply because they won the World Series. So some might say all the blown saves. Now, I know I was pulling my hair out, literally, with all the blown saves back in 2019, but again, the Nationals had more blown saves. The Oakland A's had more blown saves. The Dodgers had more blown saves. Those were all first-place teams. So you really can't put it on that either. So what it really boils down to is the defense. And the Mets had the second worst DRS by a team with a record over 500 since 2003. Think about that. That's a whole, 16 years? And that's when they first started recording it. So that just shows you how bad their defense was. And for those who don't know, you're not really up on baseball, what DRS is. DRS quantifies a player's entire defensive performance by attempting to measure how many runs a defender saved. It takes into account errors, range, a fielder's range, outfielder's arm, the double play ability. It differs only slightly from UZR, which is ultimate zone rating. I know you're probably like, wow, how does he know all these things in his formula? But the concept is pretty much the same. And we'll get into UZR maybe some other time. We don't have enough time to talk about that. But, yeah, so the only thing you can go on is their horrible, horrible defense. And Ahmad Rosario, they hyped him up to be the next great shortstop. And truth be told, he's just an average shortstop. Nothing special. I mean, he's a decent player to have on your team. And I think maybe even in another 5 years, maybe by the time he's close to 30, He could be a shortstop that could hit 280, maybe 18 home runs. Give you some Jose Reyes numbers, but his career is going to be half over by then. So, and his range was horrible. He was one of the worst when they try to equate an infielder's range. He ranked at the bottom of the league. So you combine that with an old Robinson Cano. At that time, they had Todd Frazier at third base. Pete Alonso's not a great defensive first baseman. And even the outfielders. And J.D. Davis he's a horrible, horrible fielder. I love his bat. I love what he brings to the lineup. But, man, he's horrible in the field. And Jeff McNeil's always out of position. It was just so out of whack. So here comes Francisco Lindor. And let me just pull up his stats real quick. And you'll just see what I mean. It's going to automatically shore up that defense, that really bad defense. Just give me a quick second. So it looks like, okay, here we go. All right, the trade marks the first major move by the Mets since Steve Cohen completed his purchase of the franchise. Cohen, if you remember, he bought the Mets in November 6th from the Wilpons, and he pledged from the very beginning. He said, I'm going to spend money. I'm going to spend. The Indians, on the other hand, they save a lot of money in payroll by getting off $19.5 million. And the Mets also got, who else did they get in this deal? They got Carlos Carrasco, who's a pitcher, which the Mets badly needed also, and he's making $12 million. So a lot of money comes off the books for them. They're doing bad. They're having a lot of financial problems. So that's the reason why they were so willing to get rid of him. And they got rid of him for a defensive shortstop, Andres Gimenez. And they also got Ahmad Rosario. So those are the two players that they decided to take for Lindor. So let's see here. Since his MLB debut in 2015, Lindor ranks first among all shortstops in WAR, 28.4, home runs, 138, and extra base hits. So he also ranks second in RBIs, 411, runs, 508, and fifth in OPS, 835, and slugging, 485, while batting 285. At 27, Lindor has earned 4 All-Star nods, 2 Gold Gloves, and 2 Silver Sluggers to go with a World Series appearance in 2016 and a second-place finish in the AL Rookie of the Year voting in 2015. So as you see, he's an automatic upgrade. He's a Gold Glove winner multiple times. He's just an all-around upgrade, and it's just going to help everybody around him. It's definitely going to help Robinson Cano if he even comes back. Yeah, he has to come back because he's still under contract. They're not going to just cut him. So he'll definitely be back. So he'll make Robinson Cano better. He's just going to make up the middle better in general. And they're not finished yet. So I'm excited to see what they do. I know you guys are too. So I guess we're just going to have to sit back, relax, and enjoy this offseason. Man, Mets fans, it's been a long time, man. If you're a Mets fan, you know what I mean. So anyway, this is KJ. This is Extra Innings. And I'll holler at you guys in about 48 hours. You guys take care. Peace.